I saw the newest Spider-Man is on Disney Plus, which is weird because it's Sony. But I was like, oh, I'll give that a watch later on. And also, apparently, my brother was watching Willow, which there's an old movie that was like okay, but then there's a new series that is meant to be good about it or something.
I've never heard of that. I didn't know the new Spider-Man was on Disney Plus. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just saw it tweeted yesterday.
Across the Spider-Verse?
The newest one, I believe.
Far From Home? No.
Homeward Bound?
No. Oh my God, what is it called?
Sweet Home Alabama?
Spider-Man Sweet Home Alabama, yeah. No, what is it? Homecoming's the first one.
Oh, you're going to make me load it.
It is No Way Home.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they all just sound the same in my brain. I really like that, but I feel like watching it again would kind of not have the same impact. I don't know, that was like a movie, like cinema movie, right? Is it safe enough to talk about? I suppose Steve hasn't seen it, so no.
What, the new Spider-Man?
New Spider-Man.
Yeah, we can talk about news. Come on, who's not?
Or is it Steve?
Who's not seen it that
Steve
cares?
is talking about watching it right now.
Wait, no, it's got Homecoming and Far From Home, actually. I'm not sure. Is the new? I don't know. What Spider?
Hold on, what the fuck? So hold on, are we talking about the Sony Spider-Man or are we talking about Marvel?
Tom Holland.
Disney Spider-Man.
Uncharted Spider-Man. I'm just confusing it even more.
Okay, just start. Just start.
Welcome to the Game FourCast.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'm fucking Spider-Man.
Welcome to the Game FourCast, weekly gaming podcast where we get together and chat about what we have or have not played this week and what new upcoming news has sparked our interest. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks, and I'm here with Olivemeister Will.
Hello, my name is Olivemeister or Will.
And Steve Quikwix.
Hi, my name is Steve, and it's so cold I think I'm about to have snowballs.
And Sammeh. He's dead.
Did he literally go AFK?
Has he gone back to WoW already?
Hello? You
Hello?
not hear me?
We couldn't for a second, no.
Hello.
Sam's beast out at the
It's me.
Uncharted Spider-Man conversation.
Sam, I'm here. I'm always here.
Right, okay, elephant in the room. Outside of World of Warcraft, I don't think anyone here has played anything this week, right?
I've played lots of things, but it's just all things that I played recently.
Yeah, because
it depends how much old ground do we want to retread.
I was
right
gonna say,
now.
yeah. Like I've done Hunt
I've played
DVD.
Darktide.
I've played Darktide as well, but like
I've played some Darktide since we talked about it, I think.
I mean,
It's out now. We should probably talk about it.
thank Tide Pod.
I played Darktide for, I think, the tutorial mission,
Yeah.
and I wasn't happy with how I was running. I've gotten to the point now where my PC is starting to hit points where I'm like, oh, I don't like this. It doesn't feel smooth, which is really weird because, Will, you have basically a similar setup to mine.
I was going to say, yeah, we have very similar setups. I wonder if do you have like a weaker CPU?
I have like an i7. So I
Yeah, but what generation is your i7?
what was the newest generation when I got the 1070? So it shouldn't be a bad CPU. I got a good CPU because I think at the time I wanted like a killer streaming rig, right?
What do I have? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But I
This is really exciting.
I
was playing it and I went on, some PC Gamer article or something.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the best way to set this up? Like, how do I make it look as good as possible whilst it's, running as good as possible? And I followed all these guides, tried all this thing, and I don't think I could get it to like consistently hit 60.
That's crazy.
Which for me is
Mine
just like,
hovers-
if I can't hit 60 in a shooter, like...
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
Like,
go away.
I don't think you could.
Wait,
I don't think you could play this at 30.
You're shooting in this game. I've just played an Ogren and left click things.
Oh, okay, so I needed a tutorial, right? And I had a gun for a bit, and I had like an hour, I think, to play it. I was like, so I'll play it for a bit, and it's an hour. And then I've had like no compelling, like no compulsion to go back and play it again. It's kind of sad because I was kind of excited, but yeah, like how have you found it then? So who's new? I guess Steve and Sam, you're both new
Yeah,
to it,
I
right?
mean, I just got it like a day or two ago to play with people. I got the Steam version because I was like, Game Pass for me was like, oh, we want to charge you full price. I was like, nope, I'm out. So I bought the Steam version because I had people I wanted to play with, and it's okay. It feels like Vermintide. I've played exclusively Ogryn so far, and it's it's had a few stutters here and there, but that's usually like when I first load it up and the loading screens are atrocious. But it's okay. I will say, comparing to Vermintide, I don't like the way you get new gear in the game. I preferred, random loot box, what did I get, rather than every hour you have to check a shop and purchase upgrades and pray that it's like the right one that you want or something. I preferred the just give me stuff and then let me craft if I want to or whatnot.
From what you've played so far, does it feel like, is there any parts of it that feel incomplete? I hear that's what a lot of people are saying. I feel like I hear a lot of stuff about it's not being finished or something.
It feels fine. It feels like Vermintide to me. It feels fine. There are a few systems which I preferred in Vermintide, but I understand why they've changed them for Darktide. But yeah, it's just like to me, Darktide is a game that I would play like Dynasty Warriors, where it's just like I just want to go in and mindlessly kill a bunch of things.
So there's nothing there to make you want to try like harder difficulties. You just want to go in there and slap some zombies around.
I mean, it's also like a social game for me. If people want to play harder difficulties, I'll play it with them. But I'm also quite comfortable being on difficulty 1, just going and smashing things in the head.
Yeah. How are you finding it, Sam?
See, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I initially was playing it like Vermintide, but I feel like it is now becoming more like Left 4 Dead for me. Like I'm not. If there's hordes coming at me, the melee weapon's got to come out.
Yeah.
You just don't have enough bullets to mow down 200 plus rotters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting like I've experienced a couple of different guns. Because again, depending on what gun you've got, does depend on what you do with it. If you got an SMG, you ain't shooting everything. You're just using it to mow down hordes and shit. So there are different play styles and whatnot. But I'm getting to the point where I've just unlocked my first or second like talent tree, I guess would be what it's at. Like I've got my second option to like try and customize how my character plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I prefer the way that they do equipment in this game, rather than being like, here's a loot box.
Yeah, it was all loot boxes in Vermintide, wasn't it? You open a loot box and it was like surprise.
But then there was also crafting from that as well.
But I think that's one of the things that's not in this that is going to be in. I think
it is coming. Yeah.
Because that's the one big thing everyone's talking about. It's like, oh, it's crafting. Where's crafting? Like, yeah, it's coming.
Like, it's just as easy to go to the shop and be like, well, just buy gear. And it's like, yeah, you got to wait for the hour to refresh. But a mission takes half an hour, maybe more. So it's...
I think in my head is like when I got a loot box and it gave me a random weapon, I could be like, oh, number bigger, me equip. But now with the shop, it's like, this number is bigger, but do I want to save my currency for a future? Like, do one more run and get like a slightly higher weapon, or that's where so I like have like that paralysis of like, do I buy it now or do I save up and get something a bit more better later on?
Do you get gear from levels?
I don't. You might
occasionally you get a gift.
So
I've never had that.
So you only primarily get it from a shop that rotates.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different ways you can get gear. There isn't crafting, but there's the shop. There's the weekly missions, which you unlock at some point, which gives you a currency which you can buy. He'll have like a rare stock.
So that means another shop.
So it's basically another shop, yeah. And then there's if you can upgrade a weapon's quality. There is sort of crafting, but you can't craft anything from scratch. You can upgrade stuff and give it new perks and stuff like that.
See, I didn't know any of this. That's a very interesting way of doing it.
I mean, I prefer the shop because you could just be like, I want a shovel.
Yeah,
you got a shovel.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it, so I haven't really I have no proper comment. But just on paper, the way you're describing it, I'm not sure if I like it. Like on paper, it might work better in practice.
I think for me, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's in practice, it is exactly the same in reality. Because what you had to do before was do missions to get loot boxes to break down all the junk that you didn't want anyway, so that you could craft the one you did want. So in this, all you're going to do is do missions to get currency to buy the thing you want. So essentially, you're still doing 4 to 5 missions to build up enough currency to get the weapon you want. It's just this time you're just going into a shop window and going buy it rather than opening a ton of loot boxes to get gear you don't want.
The one reason that that sounds weird to me on paper is I can't look at something and be like, I want that, but it's like 6 missions away. I have, I've
never been more than 1 mission away from a thing that I want.
Yeah, but the cost is so cheap.
But does the shop not rotate by the time you finish a mission and come back around to get what you want?
Not usually. And even if it does, it's not. This sort of goes into the problems I have with their progression system because it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
You know,
nothing matters.
Doesn't matter. No, but like, I've never seen a weapon where I'm like, oh, I must have that right now. It's like, there'll be another one next time.
Are you max level though?
I'm at level 16 right now, but I don't see it massively changing. I'm sure there are like min-max things you can do to get like the perfect weapon, you know, that people have mapped out. But for me, it's like, do you want the big machine gun or do you want the grenade launcher? Do you know what I mean? And the fact that one machine gun does 5% damage to normal enemies versus the other one that does 5% damage to elite enemies, that doesn't spark joy in me.
No. I was gonna say, I think it might change like when it might matter more when you're like max level and it's like, oh, I'm basically the shop's offering me max level things now. Now you want to kind of min max. But also, I think the reason why I don't like the system is because like Sam was saying, how you disenchant gear or whatnot and then craft what you want. For me, in Vermintide, it was like, oh, it gave me random stuff. I'll just try it, you know. Whereas now it feels like, and then eventually I'd like scrap it. Whereas it feels like this time I have to buy the junk myself, or no, not buy the junk, but I have to like risk buying stuff, which feels like a waste of currency if it's
but
like
this is
enjoy.
But this is all like umming and ahhing about the first 10 levels in WoW, you know? Like, True. It doesn't mean anything. You're just progressing through the levels at the moment.
Yeah, true. I'm just saying I preferred them giving me weapons and then I could like try them out because it feels bad to like, oh, I want to buy.
That is true,
you have to buy to try.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's like if you go into the shop and be like, oh, I don't really like heavy weapons, but you see a heavy weapon you like the look of, and you're like, oh, give it a try. Like, after the first 2 missions, I've never not had enough currency to almost buy out the entire fucking shop.
Yeah, I don't think what you're describing is bad. I think it's good for like game variety. I think a rotating shop is a weird way to do it.
It's very weird. There's a lot of weird.
Also, I think we're putting too much emphasis on rotating shop, so much as it's more an updating shop.
So the previous stuff is still there.
It's more like, you'll still have a shovel or a mace or something. It's just it'll be higher item level. You know?
Yeah. Essentially, it'll have different perks.
It's not like it's gone and now you've got to wait 3 hours to get another mace.
Oh, so that's what I thought it was.
No.
I thought it was like, I wanted to try a shovel, and now I've come back from a mission, and it's
be
gone.
like, oh, you're level 9 now, so we're going to give you level 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay.
There's this like behind the scenes tier of gear that you can get, where it's like you start off and you have your basic rifle and sword or whatever, and then as you get up in levels, it'll be like, what if your sword was an axe? And you're like, ooh, I'll try that. Or like, what if your rifle was a flamethrower or something? You're like, I'll try that. And it's like you don't even see those archetypes until you get to a certain level, but the old stuff doesn't go away just because you've unlocked new stuff. You can still get a high level version of your very starting weapon if you wanted.
I had in my head like a battle royale shop, like Apex or Fortnite.
Oh,
where it's like,
no.
Get the Gangnam Style emote now in the next hour.
Yeah,
or it's gone for
that is in the game.
We were initially describing it as, the DMZ shop, the contraband store in DMZ. Those 6
Yeah.
weapons rotate. We were explaining it like that when it's not.
Yeah, that's how I thought it was. And so, because as soon as you say like rotating shop, that's where my brain defaults is to like free to play battle royales.
Yeah. There is a rotating shop, but it's just for cosmetics, and that's you decide how you feel about rotating shop cosmetics in a game.
Oh, it's what it is now, isn't it? It's kind of.
I think we just lost that battle. Yeah.
I think,
and the cosmetics do look good. To be fair, I think everything in this game looks really good. I think that's what they've nailed. Is the game looks fantastic, and all of the gameplay is fantastic. I'm just still, I don't know. I'm just not sold on their like loop of. I don't think the guns and the perks are exciting enough to get me to want to run them over and over again.
I mean, again, I'm not max level and stuff, but
I'm also not max level.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and when it does run at 60 FPS plus, man, does it? It feels good. It does feel good.
I'm shocked that buying a brand new, 3070 Ti still only hit 60. It's kind of shit.
Yeah, I can't get above 60, but I can stay between 50 and 60.
I assume you're running it maxed out though, like graphically.
Yeah. Oh right, okay.
Everything's high, ultra, whatever. Everything on.
Because that's me playing it. I'm running it on like all lows and some mediums, and it's like, here's your choppy ass game. I'm like, no.
Yeah, when I was playing it before and I was averaging 20 FPS, the game did not feel good. It didn't feel good, but now it does.
And it's like, if I was really, really into it, I could maybe push through, but I'm just like, I'm not, like, nah.
It's such a shame it doesn't have crossplay, so we could all play it together. I mean, 3 of us can now, but...
Yeah, I'm the cheapskate with Game Pass.
We could get Josh in, yeah.
I meant to find it, because my Game Pass ran out, I think, yesterday, and Steve said it didn't work for him, so I was going to try it. And
you should try it right now, live on stream.
That might
I've spoken to 2 other people who also can't buy it.
Fuck!
Oh no, is this it? The end of the Game 4 Game Pass?
Game 4 Pass?
Yeah.
We'll workshop that later. That needs a bit of... It's a bit raw right now. Oh man,
if back in the oven.
I'll be so upset because I won't be able to play Justin Roiland's game. Is that his name? What's the Rick and Morty man?
Oh, Justin Roiland.
Out now?
No, it comes out on the 12th. You do upcoming releases.
Yeah, I do it a week at a time, and it's not been out yet.
Yeah, it comes out like in a week and a half or something from this recording.
Okay.
Wait, hang on, math doesn't work out. It's like a week. It comes out soon.
Yeah.
So
on the 12th, that's exactly a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, just a weird day to release a game. So I'm probably wrong. But it's probably. I imagine it's Tuesday. Games come out on Tuesday.
So hold on. High on Life.
High on this fucking podcast.
13th. It is the Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Yeah.
High on Life.
I said, yeah.
How can you hate? It's not even out yet.
I can absolutely hate the visuals.
Normally, I would agree with you, Will, but I if Sam hates this game before it's out, that's fine.
I'm not saying, I hate the mechanics or the gameplay loop and stuff like that.
You're not a Rick and Morty fan, though, are you?
Oh, no. I go round Matt's, and it's like, we watch it during food and, like, eating food, and I'm like, I
hate this.
And, like, some of the most recent episodes, I'm like, these aren't bad, but, like, I'm still not enjoying it.
The last thing I saw of this game was, I think it was like maybe like Gamescom or something, and they showed a trailer of a boss fight, and he was like zipping around a room, and the gun was doing one-liners like every 20 seconds, and I was like, this is horrible. I hate this.
Yeah, I have seen since though that they've had some events, and people I've seen previews that have said it's not shouting at you all the time. That's just because they need to get the eyes on it, you know.
Yeah. Or
they need to hook you.
It might be okay. I feel like as well, when it's something that has to like sell itself on that humor, like it's this type of humor. I feel like it'll be quite short, like just a game where it's like, well, we can't do 15 hours of pure comedy. it's a cool Rick and Morty humor shooter.
I mean,
that
yeah,
lasts 4 hours or something. I don't know.
But I mean, like making games funny is hard because they're long. You know?
Or TV series is what? It's like 12 times 20.
Yeah.
So you got like a series like that, and then a game.
It's like one level.
Yeah. That's the first arc of your game. That's why I said how looping back to God of War for 10 seconds, where I was like 8 hours into God of War Ragnarok, and it was such an amazing story, and I was like, oh my god, this is like 50 hours long of just like pure, like amazing movie stuff.
I can't believe you found a way to bring up God of War.
Always
again.
bring
every
up God
week.
of War.
It's every week, Josh.
Just you wait till the Game of the Year awards next week. It's coming back. But yeah, we did God of War, back to High on Life, back to Warhammer. There we go. Loop background.
You're sending us back, are you?
I'm going back in time. I don't really know how.
back to 40k. Okay, sorry. Yes. Anything else you wanted to know?
I think that's. I think we're kind of like. We'll put a bow on it and wrap it up. But like, out of all three of you, who is still actively playing it? Like,
Hello.
I'm playing it as more. I'll play a little bit by myself just so I can catch up, but I'm mostly playing with other people. So
I've played most of it solo.
I was going to ask about that because I heard you can't do it solo.
Well, you can.
Sorry, I've played it queuing in with randos.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, the randoms are on one. I've been doing it as a trio, and it's always the fourth random is like attacking a demon host or running off by themselves and dying. And then I did one this morning where it was like with 3 randoms, and one of the we're all like relative like what level 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone attacked a wrong creature, and one of the randoms was going off, and I'm just like, oh my god! It's like we're all new. Like, come on, you don't need to go crazy.
The trick is to mute chat, turn off all chat, turn off voice chat.
I have turned off voice chat. I am not listening to randoms.
Get a Tipex pen. Tipex out his name on the screen. Just completely like white him out. Just remove him from the game and pretend he's not there. Okay, we'll move on from Darktide then. I want to hear about World of Warcraft as well, because I know it's World of Warcraft again, but like it's actually out now.
Yeah, new expansion is out.
It is out. Some new features. Sam has finished it. Steve is, I assume, like a little bit of the way in.
I've been playing. I have got halfway through the second zone on my hunter, but because I'm playing quite late, everyone's finished leveling already. So the DPS queues and the leveling dungeons are non-existent. So I switched to a monk so I could tank dungeons for my friend.
How does that correlate? Why are they non-existent? Is everyone everyone's changed to their tanks now because they finished DPS?
A lot of like the hardcore players are now on their mains doing like heroics or higher at max level, which is 70. Whereas the leveling dungeons, I feel like people are either just not skipping them and doing the story, or like everyone's queuing as DPS and there's no tanks and healers in the leveling queue anymore. Or
right.
not
I can tell you what happened with us was we did one dungeon and went, well, this is inefficient.
Yeah.
And then didn't do any more.
That bad?
It's not that it's bad, it's just the questing is so quick in retail.
Yeah, the questing is very, very quick.
I heard
so quick.
Someone said it, I can't remember where I saw it, but someone said that like just doing main story, no side quests, gets you to like 3/4 of the way to max.
I believe that was Dr. Alex.
That might, yeah.
So yeah,
someone said it.
Because various different people did various different research, and we read if you did nothing but the main story quest, you would end up at level 68.
Yeah, out of 70.
So what that meant for a lot of us was like, well, we'll just do the side quests then, because it also gives rep, and we want rep, and blah 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 blah. So I think 2 of us of our group completely 100%ed the first zone and left that zone basically level 66.
Yeah.
One of 4 zones, level 66.
Yeah, I did that on my hunter. I did the first zone completely, did all the side quests, and I was 65, which is halfway through the leveling. Yeah.
So it got to the point we started beelining the main story quest, because you need to do that to unlock world quests, which is, that's how you start ramping up the end game. So we ramped that, and then once we did all of that, we went round and did all the quests, all the side quests, everything. Got that all out of the way.
Did you have fun?
But again, yes, oh, absolutely.
Is it a fun expansion? That's what is it good?
It's so story-wise, I can tell you what's going on, but not a lot's happening so much as like there's a bad guy and bad guy's bad, right? And that's my like non-spoiler review of DragonFlight.
Yeah.
It's not fucking winning game of the year for story, but it feels really fucking good to play.
Yeah, I was gonna say the new instead of like flying mounts in this game, you get dragon riding mounts, which are a new type of mount. And they, especially when you've upgraded them, it feels so satisfying to fly around with.
This is the whole new. This is like the on the front of the box selling point, right? It's the whole new
like,
flying.
Even in one of the dungeons, it basically lets you have like one of the dungeons. The second dungeon that you do is basically a whole zone that you can fly around in.
Wrath had one of those, right?
It did, but this one, because you've got the dragon riding mount, you can use it in this dungeon. You're basically flying all over the zone, and it feels really good.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool, but basically all it is, in a nutshell, is you can now just fly in the new expansion.
Yeah,
and it feels good to get from A to B really quickly without restraints.
I'd say it feels like the flying feels good though. Like if you've ever played like a Majora's Mask Zelda game, and you get like the Zora mask in it to swim about, and you just spend like 20 minutes just swimming up and down doing nothing
around.
Kind of feels like that, like where it feels fun to fly. It's not like just from point A to point B. It's like, oh, you're zooming, if you dive you go faster, and you can like
it's like a little mini game, essentially. But once you nail it, you can actually just fly forever.
Isn't that literally that one scene from How to Train Your Dragon?
Basically, yeah.
Where it's like, oh my god, a dragon! Oh, and then they fly across the water, and then it's like, oh look, it's cool. Yeah, they've done it. I feel like that was what they wanted to get out of this expansion, and the fact that you're describing how cool it is, someone out there on the dev team is like fist pumping right now, like mission accomplished.
So one thing they always said, because people have been asking for flying in the start forever. And they said, no, we don't want to do flying because it kills like player interaction. Because if your quest is like, if your answer to every quest is just go fly over to this place, do the thing and fly back, like there's no opportunity for interesting stuff to happen in the world. Is that how it feels? Do you get like?
I assume you just world build vertically, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so far for me, it's not been that bad. Like we did have flying at the start in Cataclysm. Like every zone in Cataclysm, you just were flying instantly, other than the underwater one. But you do just go from point A to point B a lot. There is some sort of like exploration to do, but I feel like it's like people who've been playing WoW have been playing WoW. It's like you explore as much as you want, but a lot of people just want to get from point A to point B. And
here's the clever thing that they've done, and it feels like they've taken a page out of FF14's book, is because there is a main story quest.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go everywhere and explore everywhere, but you still need to do the story that takes you through all the major hubs of all the major zones.
Right. Yeah. That's good. I like that stuff.
So you can't skip anything so much as you can skip. There will be some little settlements and stuff the main story doesn't go to, because it's not going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
So yes, you can quote unquote skip things, but you still meet all the relevant players in the story, You still go to all the relevant places.
Yeah.
So
I meant more
just
like
it's done very well.
I meant more like if you have flying, the game tends to be get your quest, immediately fly vertically straight up to where above the ground, go beeline crow fly straight to where you need to go, back down to do your thing, and then back again. You don't you don't run into other players. You don't get sidetracked by anything. You just beeline 100% all the time.
Depends on what you're after, because for me, when I played Final Fantasy 14, I didn't give a shit what other players were doing. I just wanted to do.
Yeah, but that's Final Fantasy
Yeah,
14.
yeah.
That's a single player game masquerading as an
I
MMO.
would say if you want to play like that and just do the main story, you can play like that. But there's enough side quests and there are enough like bonus objectives and stuff that you can play like that, but it's not.
Here's the big thing for the PvP thing.
Yeah.
Is we played a war mode on the entire time,
Yeah.
and there is constant supply drops going on the map. So we'll be doing a quest, and then someone will just be like, "Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo," and that's our code sign for supply ships on the way. Everyone move your ass so we can get it and fuck up anyone else who's there.
Right. So it is a battle royale.
That's
Circles
if you're
coming
war
in.
mode on. But also, as you unlock through the zones, each different faction has like a thing that happens on the world map,
Right.
and that is like a point of contest.
Okay.
So like there'll be like the centaur people go out and hunt stuff, and you've got to help them hunt. So everyone who wants the rep or the items or whatnot go there, and that means Alliance are going to go there, and that means Horde is going to go there, and it brings a point of contest, you know?
Right, okay.
I think there's also the weird thing, though, of WoW has war mode off, so there are people that are just like, I don't want to PvP.
And they're still
Which is fair.
They're
I
still
think that's most
they're still in the
people.
same instance, aren't they? So they're just like watching to the side as everyone dies.
But they'll be on like a different layer.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like war people can see non-war people.
No, they get like phased into their own like layer.
Oh,
So
I thought they were all together. So how's the actual design of the zones? How many are there? 5?
4 zones.
4 zones. How are they?
It's good.
Yeah.
They look pretty. Like you
It
kind of
is
know.
Nothing.
to quote one of our friends, it's like the leveling experiences and like the starter zones are always good in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
It's when they actually have to ramp up the story past the out of the gate start of an expansion where shit starts to get shit.
Right. Does this story blue balls you like Shadowlands did?
I don't really know. Like, I know there is a bad guy, and I know that he is a bad guy. But you can also look up the raid that we're gonna do.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
You can see the bosses. Now, I'm not going to say anything about that, but it's very clear from that I can gauge.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's there, or oh, that guy's not there. You know what I mean?
Because that my biggest problem playing the previous expansion was finishing the story, being actually quite into it, and then the main bad guy's henchman shut the doors to his castle and said, "See you in 2 weeks." And I was like, is that the end of the story? Is that really the end? And that was the end of the current story. And that really, really annoyed me.
That's live service games, though, isn't it? That's just where we're at these days.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Final Fantasy 14 doesn't do that. 14 wraps up and has a really cool.
But
ending.
that's
Final
because
Fantasy's not an MMO.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
yeah,
It's
but that's
pretending.
because Final Fantasy 14 does their hardcore raid content is a completely separate story, which is better in some ways, worse than others. It's like, it feels like you can totally disregard it. It's not part of the main story.
That's
It's
good.
side-
That means you get
it's
like
side
2
content.
stories.
But then, like, and I do understand, like, Final Fantasy does have like raid boss, like a raid boss ish, but it's never designed to be like farmable until they do like the hard mode of it, which I guess is the better. I guess it is actually a better way to do it.
But it is a better way. Why should you lock out important story stuff to people that can't do raid stuff?
I
suppose WoW has looking for raid, isn't it? That
Yeah.
exists for people to be able to do.
I was
stuff.
actually talking with someone being like, oh, they play both Final Fantasy and WoW, and I was like, what parts would you like from Final Fantasy to go into WoW, and what parts of WoW would you like to go into Final Fantasy? And like the thing they said for WoW into Final Fantasy was the mythic dungeons, because there is a market for hardcore, like
dungeoning.
engaging PvE content, which a lot of other MMOs and a lot of other games even don't fulfill.
Yeah, I think that's the part that WoW does really well. Is
Yes.
the repeatable PvE, whereas Final Fantasy 14 does have it, but not in terms of like dungeons.
It's not great. It's like,
No.
oh, you can do the boss and do the same boss over and over, and there's no like affixes to change it up at all or whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's like it's weird because they're two competing MMOs that have almost like different repeatable content. WoW goes for the like mythic, come get better at these specific things, whereas I think FF14 really pushes the like hit max on all classes, where it's like repeat dungeons every day on different classes and try and get, because you can have everything on the same character, they try to encourage the whole like just max everything, which is insane. Like no one should do that. It's an insane amount of time, but I think that's what people do instead on FF14.
Yeah.
Which again, you could argue is very solo. You don't need to work with a group to do that stuff. You can just do it on your own.
I mean, even FF14 is, I think they're moving more towards the model of even the raids you can do with MP. They're making it so dungeons and raids that are required are you can do with NPCs.
Yeah, they're setting up FF14 so that one day they can turn the servers off and you can still play it from start to finish. You laugh, but that's exactly what they're doing. At that point, I will finally validate your meme.
Yeah, that's why I was chuckling. Yeah,
when that comes around, I'll go fine. It is a single player game. It is not an
I'm
MMO.
gonna call you up. It'll be like 20 years from now. We probably won't even be talking anymore, and I'll be like, "So you told you so."
No, in 20 years we'll be talking.
Yeah, I'll be like, "What made you think you could message me after what you did?" I don't know what it is.
Are you coming back to play on the third hunt map, the fourth hunt map? Fuck.
Yeah, hunt. What's hunt? But so World of Warcraft Dragonflight, Sam's done, Steve's not, but you're working through it slowly. Okay.
I was done by the Thursday.
I was gonna say
I'm not shocked
Up
at
till
all.
Tuesday.
Yeah, not shocked at all.
I was gonna say I've been taking it a lot more casually because before I was always go very hard on MMOs, but I've got too many other games, too many people to play with at the moment that I'm
so
like
popular.
I know, right? But
Still playing
I'm
DMZ with you boys, and I was still in
Yeah.
World of Warcraft. Like,
Yeah,
just
but I'm
throwing
just
it
saying
out
that
there.
I'm definitely taking this expansion as definitely a casual gamer. Like I'll probably do some raiding if there's a spot in the group when that happens, but yeah, I'm definitely taking it more slow, more just at my own pace. And it's actually really nice that not having to be like, oh, I'm logging on every day and that's all I'm playing. It's, if I've got an hour spare, I'll do some leveling, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, okay. So we'll put a little bow on that and wrap that up. Last little drive-by, I think, for stuff that people's played. Congratulations to Will for hitting Iridescent 1 on Dead by Daylight as killer.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
that
you.
the top rank?
It is the top
Yeah.
rank.
What the fuck,
Thank you.
bro?
It was rough. It took me nearly a day, but we made it.
I was gonna say,
Go on, Steve.
I was gonna say, like, I think I've gotten to gold 1, but like, you've been really going hard on DBD, haven't you?
I haven't.
No, he
been
hasn't.
going
Though.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 hours in the game.
Steve has to say that because otherwise,
Well, no,
it's
I
like
think also you've only been playing like 1 or 2 killers, right?
I've played 5 killers. There's all the free ones. I tried them all, and then I got the plague, and I got Nemesis as well.
Oh, Nemesis is fantastic. I love playing as Nemesis.
It's fun. It's
My
fun.
favorite killer is Bing Bong. Mr.
Oh yeah, Mr.
Invisible.
Wraith.
Oh,
yeah.
the Wraith. Yeah, he was really good. He carried me through silver rank.
Yeah.
I love Bing Bong.
I was gonna say, I think it's, to me, I'm excited for you because I'm like, you are enjoying this, and like, not every killer is a banger, but there are so many more killers that are like really fun to play, and like, you still got to discover them. Like, you will eventually, I'm assuming next time it's on sale, you'll get like a couple more DLCs or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I probably will. I'll try it out.
It's very fun, and I'm like, oh, you got more to play.
I
yes.
was on the brink of just buying all the DLC when it was on sale. I was like,
I did.
I don't need all the DLC right now, so I bought a handful.
Mhm.
Well, what I did was since it's when you buy the DLC, you get a bunch of stuff. Like I'm only playing killer. I don't care about any of the survivors.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is going to their in-game store and just buying their currency. and then if there's one on sale, it's like you can get the character for like
Yes.
half of £3 or something. It's like like 175 or something.
That's
I
not
think.
bad when it
Yeah,
works
that's
out
what,
to.
that's what I did for the Halloween sale. Everything was on sale for like half off, and it's £1.75 per kilo. I was like, I'm buying most of these or all of these.
Yeah.
You've easily coasted all the way to the highest rank of Dead by Daylight as killer, which that is really impressive. I don't want it's.
I said it in our private chat. It feels like an elaborate prank someone's pulling on me to convince me that I'm really, really good at a video game when I still feel like I get into a game and I have no idea what I'm doing. Because I've been winning a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll have games where I barely see a single person. I'll get like one kill and everyone else will leave, and I'll be like, I couldn't tell you what went wrong there. I've never, no idea.
I feel like Dead by Daylight. We spoke about this a little bit, where it's like mechanically, it's very simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's first person controls with melee combat. By melee combat, you left click to swing your sword or whatever, or swing your flail, or and outside of that, survivors have perks and stuff, but I think survivors having perks makes their job easier. It doesn't make what you do necessarily harder, right?
No, there definitely are perks. There are perks that they are designed to make
or
you
like Dead Hard and things like that.
The one where they dodge you, that one is a pain in the ass. Now I know to just run along behind them for like an extra second, and then you see that little like dash, and I'm like, all right, you fucked up, and then that's it.
There's also a perk that when you get to a certain point in the generator, if the killer kicks it will flashbang them for a bit. Like there are perks designed to be annoying, but like I think Dead by Daylight, I'm gonna also tie Phasmophobia into this because it's also very similar. There is like a casual market for it, like of people who don't play games, but they will play Dead by Daylight and Phasmophobia. Often a lot of women, actually, I found as well, who will. It's like their FIFA. It's their FIFA or their COD, where they just like love playing it. I think they like the thrill of it.
But
there's.
Go for it. Sorry, go for it.
I was just gonna say, so it's like you do get into games where like it feels like, oh my god, these people have been playing for 10 years plus, and they're like overpowered or whatnot.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of games, even like into like the higher ranks, where it's just like I'm having fun because I can kill these people because they don't seem to be quote unquote like hardcore gamers.
But you would expect the fact that if you're in Iridescent 1 that you're playing against Iridescent 1 survivors.
Yeah, is matchmaking just shit?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is matchmaking really bad?
I can only assume,
I was going to say, I've heard that there is individual killer match MMR, but Will's been playing the same few killers, so if he's still having an easy time playing the same killers...
I'm not having an easy time. Like, when I first booted it up, I was literally... I didn't even have to think. People would just walk... It was like... Yeah. It was like, well, you know, fish jumping into the boat sort of thing. I could just stand at one of the entrances and people would just walk into me. And by the game that I got to the top rank, it was like all people who knew what they were doing, sort of thing, at least.
It just
yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I've been watching, you know, you guys. I've been watching Josh. I've been watching Steve. I've watched people from back in the day play it when it first came out. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if just because I was kind of pre-prepared going in, I've just like the matchmaking hasn't caught up with me yet, and I'm about to get just absolutely stomped for the next like 3 weeks or something.
I mean, you got the Steam achievement. Like, what else do you need? Like,
I do like the idea of you watching my stream and being like, oh yes, this is how to play.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
But like,
I'll become Survivor and snipe you and give you a hard time.
I'll fuck you up, mate. I'm here just one.
Grandmaster, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice. I've made I think I'm like gold 1 killer.
Yeah.
And I've stopped ranking, but purely because I haven't been playing. I don't feel like I've hit a wall yet either as killer.
Yeah.
I think ranks reset the 13th of every month.
Yes. The 13th,
yeah. It literally chucks you back to Ash.
Bronze.
Nice.
Ash,
Looking forward to that. Gonna dunk all over some fools again.
That was literally where it was like, when ranks reset, I think I played on the 13th. And I was playing some Survivor, and you would have terrible killers that wouldn't know what they're doing. or some guy that was also your rank, like Ash 5, lowest rank, would just sweep the map. And just like everyone's hooked in like 50 seconds. And it's like, oh, okay, that guy's we're just in the way as he climbs back up to max rank.
The problem I'm having now is I'll go on the internet or whatever, and I'll be like, hey, I'm having trouble. Sometimes, there'll be a guy will be doing a generator. I know he's about, but I cannot find him. It's just he's just sat in a bush somewhere, and I'm never gonna find him, and I can't waste time looking for this one guy. And it'll be like, oh well, here's a bunch of perks you can take. You can take this one, this one, this one, this one, and every one of them is like, okay, well that's £5 of DLC. That's £5 of DLC, and I'm like, oh god,
it's not pay to win. But
because it's in the store they do offer random it's a weekly reset, but every week there's 2 killer perks and 2 survivor perks that maybe come from DLC that you can purchase for a blue currency, which is
right
to get. It's not really. It's like you kind of need to get some.
Kind of need to buy the DLC.
I know.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Part of the reason I bought Nemesis was because someone was like, "Oh, there's a perk here that it blows up generators or whatever," and I was like, that sounds great. I'll take that.
The problem you're describing, there's the new character who's the knight, and he has a perk where when you kick a gen to make it regress, if there's anyone close by, it lights him up in an aura.
Oh, okay, I'm buying that right now. That is the most annoying thing, is when there's like, I can see all the generators getting done, and then I go over there and it's like, fucking no one about is there, and then I go to the next one, it's like, where are all these people fucking hiding? It's so annoying.
No, it's literally kick a gen and then the bush starts glowing red, basically. I'm glad like everyone's still enjoying it. I feel like
I was gonna say not to sound too big-headed, but I was just like, over Halloween I was like, I want to play something scary, and I played it and I was like, I actually love, because always thought of Dead by Daylight as a multiplayer game. I was like, no, I'm going to play it single player so I can play as a killer. Loved it, and then now everyone's like started playing it. I'm like, yes, enjoy. Like, I'm enjoying this. I'm glad everyone else is enjoying it.
I have to swallow my pride a little bit, because I think literally like 10 episodes ago on this podcast, I was like shitting on this game because I had such a bad time the previous time I played it. I just had like no fun, and this time it's like I'm having so much fun. This time it's so weird. It's like it's completely flipped.
It's even like a friend of the podcast, Bluntcast, always said like he hates asymmetrical games, and Dead by Daylight was the pinnacle of that. And he's like, he doesn't like it. I think he saw my streams a couple times and me playing. It was like, that actually looks fun.
Yeah,
played it, and now he's addicted to it. It's like, don't play Survivor, just play it as a single player game.
Oh my god, isn't Survivor just boring? What the fuck?
Yes.
I'm like, every time I just dunk on a team and like, absolutely lay waste to this group of people, I'm like, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for suffering so that people like me can continue to have fun in this game, because I don't understand why you would sign up for this.
I think it's like sort of like performance anxiety, right? It's like if you shit your pants as a killer, you do it in front of 4 people. Whereas
no one to blame but yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's the fighting game issue. It's like I can't point to anyone and say they let me down. It is entirely you misplaying.
But I also think though that if you're playing a survivor in a game with iconic killing characters, you kind of want, there's a little bit deeper down inside where you kind of want to be killed by Ghostface, you kind of want to have that like horror movie moment of, oh look, he's peeking around the corner and now he stabbed me to death. Like, I'm not sure. Maybe
it's already all numbers to me.
I really enjoy Survivor.
I enjoy Survivor as well. I enjoy Survivor.
We all own Dead by Daylight. Maybe we should play a session as Survivor.
No, I'm good. I don't understand. What do you get out of it though?
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I was saying. We could do like
hold one button.
What I get out of Survivor is I almost exclusively take flashlights. And it's just, as soon as you watch like a YouTube...
Oh, you're that guy? I fucking hate that guy.
As soon as you watch a YouTube video about like how to do timings of flashlighting after pallets, flashlighting on pickups of survivors, the game is just hilarious, because you watch the killer pick up someone that's downed, and you just run over to his face, flashlight him, run away.
I fucking hate those people.
I hate you, Josh.
Oh,
I knock a guy down, and I'm like, finally, I got this guy. And then I can see there's like a little guy peeking around the corner, like, go on, pick him up. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
There's also
busy.
it's a bit harder to do than the flashlight, but taking the sabotage toolboxes as well, and watching a killer holding someone going for a hook, and then you just destroy the hook in their face and run away.
That's happened a few times.
We've now discovered that Josh is the worst person.
Yeah, you have to dig a bit for it compared to killer, but there is some fun stuff to do as survivors because you can play. Again, I take flashlight, and the way I play survivor, if I'm feeling a bit like ballsy, is I play as the bait. Like I will try and find a killer and be like, I'm gonna loop you now, and hope that my teammates aren't stupid and do gens. They never will, but that's I like to play. That's a really fun role to play as a survivor. So there is stuff there, and I think you should check it out occasionally, Will, because it's good to see the game from the other side to get a better understanding. Sometimes if you stick with this game,
but I still feel I don't need it to be a competitive thing where I need to understand all that. I'm just gonna go in and like hit survivors with my axe. you know. I really don't care for this to be like my try hard competitive game.
There's people out there that are hard stuck gold, crying, listening to you talk about how you don't want to try your max
sound like
rank.
Such an asshole. Yeah, I know. But I don't know.
That's hilarious.
That's the thing. There are Dead by Daylight content creators who play this day in day out, and I'm like, I don't know how they do it and still like.
It's just fun.
There's just
fun,
enough
like,
variety at this point.
You play Hunt every day, and you just run around and shoot people.
But I mean, with Hunt, there's a lot of variety. If you're like a streamer, if you're a killer, I can understand. But if you like stream and you're playing Survivor games all day, every day, I'm like, I don't know.
Survivor,
I do.
Sorry, you go.
Well, I understand what Steve means because it's like, if you're like a Hunt content creator, right? It's like you can do, here's a wacky loadout, here's a dumb challenge or something. All the content creators I've seen for Dead by Daylight, like they'll be like, "Oh, we're trying out this silly loadout today," and then they'll explain it, and it's just like it's all stats and numbers. Do you know what I mean? They're like, "So when this happens, it's gonna take 10% progress off the generators," and I'm like, "Whoa, calm down."
It'll make them scream across the map, and then I'll go and hook them. Then I'll chase them.
And I get it, right? That's super exciting for them, but it just feels like I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's a huge variety in like play styles between killers.
What you're describing there feels
the...
like the variety you have to search for after like 3,000 hours. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were to go, all right, it's all over, lads. Tomorrow I'm playing Dead by Daylight every day. You could rotate through killers for ages. And still have a lot of fun because there's like 30 now, I think.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
And any content creators you watch, they primarily play killer because that's where a lot of the variety is, I think.
Yeah. Oh god, I can't imagine trying to make content for this game just playing Survivor. It's like, running around a pallet again
all day, baby.
I've played this game enough now where I've streamed this game enough, where I'm like, it would be nice to like reach out to some Dead by like content creators, some smaller ones, and be like, hey, would you like to play? But then I realize, that means playing Survivor. And I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah,
that's kind of a shame.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like I was on the other night and I could see Josh playing, and I was like, I should message Josh. And then I'm like, what am I going to say? You want to hang out in Discord while we both play our own killer games?
Let me kill you.
Yeah.
Yes, you should do that.
Well, I'll just
hang out in Discord while we play killer.
Yeah.
Suppose
one of my favorite things, genuinely, especially at uni, was I would be playing on my computer and like one of my housemates be playing on his Xbox next to me, and we were just doing our own thing. But just because you're around other people doing their own thing, it's just a good time.
You're just describing a LAN party. That's not fair. That's always fun. But yeah, maybe I would like to do like some Survivor games with people when I get some time. I ain't got a lot of time at the moment, but
I'm down as well.
Maybe like next week that'd be quite cool.
If all three of you want to do it, then I guess I could.
You ain't got a choice,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ultimately, yes. I guess I don't have a choice. Yeah.
Will's gonna do one skill check and be like, "Nope, I'm out."
Yeah.
Will's gonna be the guy that is the third person to the gen to help, makes it blow up, and then runs away.
I'm gonna be the guy that gets caught immediately and then disconnects, which has happened in 90% of my games.
I swear, it's like what I just described, I think you see like at least one of that happening every like 2 or 3 matches, and it's so annoying. You'll be with someone else on a generator. There's 3 spots on the generator, and you'll be like 50% through, and it's going great. Someone walks up, casually, strolls up, not running, just chill, sits down, makes it blow up, and then runs away. And it's just like, thank you so much.
Yeah, I love those people. There's always that bit where I catch the first guy and hook him, and then I'm like, which generator do I go to? And then it's like poof, over the side of the map, and I'm like, thank you.
All right. Well, has anyone else played anything else this week, or should we move on to some new stuff?
There's at least one game I would like to speak about. And just get people's views on, because I haven't played it myself.
Okay.
I've had a little look. It's Midnight Suns.
Oh,
I looked at this and I saw. I went to the Steam page, saw £50. I was like, nope.
Is it suns as in like the sun in the sky, or is it suns?
Yes.
Yeah, sun.
Okay.
Because I've not played it, so I can't give a fair assessment.
This is on my rental list, so I will play this at some point. I made the choice of, am I playing Callisto Protocol or am I playing this? And I chose Callisto.
Poorly.
We'll get onto that soon.
I've heard really good. I've heard of the reviews I've read. It's a really fun, like XCOM style, but like different enough. It's like card based, and it's not on a grid, and it's all like combat scenarios instead of like big levels.
Which I like. I prefer that. I think.
Yeah, and apparently that part is fantastic. And then the other half of the game is like Fire Emblem meets Marvel, where you're like taking Blade out on a date and talking to him about his feelings. And apparently that's really fucking bad. Like
nothing you've described so far is bad. So there
was a review I was reading that was like, have you ever wondered if Blade was into yoga? Because he is, and he'll teach you about it. And it's like, what the fuck?
How can that be bad? I feel like if you go into it with a certain mindset, that could be really funny.
Yeah.
If you're just like really serious and you're like, what is Blade talking about?
Okay. Yeah, but it's not fun bad. It's
it's just it's just bad writing.
Yes. They're all the characters are like super dull and uninteresting.
Yeah, I've heard as well that apparently they have a certain number of quips that you hear a lot of during combat. So I've heard that as well. This you make a custom character, right? I think I remember. Yeah.
You play as an OC.
Sonic OC? Oh,
you make your Marvel OC.
You make your Sonic the Hedgehog. But yeah, I haven't played Callisto yet, but I've got that coming first before this.
Because I've heard good things about Midnight Suns,
I've heard good things.
I haven't played it. I might get it.
My problem is that I don't really like XCOM.
But you like Mario and Rabbids, right?
The first one was good. I didn't finish the second one.
Yeah, I don't think you'll like this, Josh.
No, that's the cool
I
thing.
just don't think this is for you.
I'll play it for a bit. I'll play it for a bit, and it might just the fact that it's Marvel. It might just be enough, right? Like XCOM is like just soldiers and aliens. But if it's just like Wolverine being like, "Hey, bub, I love yoga," then maybe.
Yeah.
Then just maybe.
Yeah.
But
there's enough
question, because XCOM, like your characters, you'd make characters, you'd name them after your friends, and then your friends would die. I'm assuming your characters don't perma-die in this game, right?
No, you can't perma-kill Iron Man in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you get it, Sam, and then I'll get it at some point, and then
you
can see what you think.
I just wanted to see people's takes on it, 'cause it seems people thought this game was going to be fucking awful.
Well, it kept getting like weird delays, didn't it? Where it was like they ramped up all the promo material for a release in 1 to 2 weeks, and then it was just like delayed without a date, which was really weird.
Oh yeah, they just said like it went back to like coming soon, didn't it? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then suddenly it was like, actually no, hang on, PC version and console versions in December, but previous gen consoles next year or something. It's really weird. It's had a really weird like lead up. And it's stuff like that doesn't give you hope, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it was a bit weird. But yeah, so that's out as well. And the other game that's out is the Callisto Protocol, which actually leads into the first story, which is about Callisto Protocol having a really rough launch on PC.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it's somewhat fixed now. So it's been fixed it's been somewhat patched very quickly. But basically, yeah, Callisto Protocol, which is the not Dead Space game, came out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. And the PS5 version is mostly okay. A few drops here and there. The Xbox One was a little bit worse, but still okay. And the PC one was just absolutely fried.
Yeah, unplayable. Like stutters, stutters before every single jump scare. So
yeah. So do you know why, Stephen?
Unreal Engine something.
Yeah. So Will knows.
A freaking error.
A freaking error, man.
No, it's something to do with Unreal Engine and how it does shaders, right?
So yeah, so it's basically,
and every time it loads something new, it just hard locks for a couple seconds while it boots it up.
So Unreal Engine 4, I think this is. By default, it's just you create a new asset or you load a new asset in, i.e., a monster behind a door, and it has to load all the shaders and get everything all ready for it, and that takes time. And every time you would open a door or something, in Callisto Protocol, the game would hard lock for like half a second, and then you'd get jumped by the monster, and that's happening all over the place as it was loading assets. It's just like stuttering as it's loading in these assets. And what a lot of games do, or what they're supposed to do with Unreal Engine 4, is you basically preload all your shaders. You have a big loading screen when you first turn the game on.
Yeah.
And you just get everything ready, basically. So it's ready to be done.
Because Elden Ring had this problem of every single time you saw something new, it would stutter.
Yes.
So, but like at the start of the game, you were like, oh my god, this is happening a lot, but then by the time you got near the end, it would barely happen at all. But I feel like the problem with this game is where it's a horror game. You need the atmosphere. Like in Elden Ring, you're playing for the gameplay. In this game, you're playing for the experience.
Yeah, it's like if this problem undermines every single scare or jump scare in the game, that's ruining one of the core pillars of the whole experience.
Yes,
which is terrible.
Which is why I think a lot more people were mad about this than other games. Like for example, like Pokemon also had its fair share of problems, but I for me personally, I didn't mind that because I still got my core gameplay experience was like 99% fine.
Well, it's harder to ruin a turn-based, battler than it is an action horror game.
I think personally, and this is all just like my opinion, I think in a stream of games coming out that have been like, Pokemon comes out and it's kind of jank and all this kind of stuff happening, I think this might have been the unlucky game that just kind of made people go like, hang on a minute, all these fucking games are coming out and not working. Like, fuck this game. And maybe maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it is a certain reason, but I think this was the one that made people go like, hang on a minute, hang on. Why does this keep happening? Why do games keep coming out and being busted? So
yeah, especially like after the global drama of Cyberpunk, it's like it got better for a bit, and now it's just like we seem to be back to like, oh yeah, games are broken on release again.
Well, it's like you bring up Pokemon compared to this. I think Pokemon is worse than this.
I've not played and also my experience with Pokemon wasn't too bad with the bugs, so. But I do maybe see it, but again, like with Pokemon, the core gameplay is still like perfectly fine. So
the issue with Pokemon was the frame rate.
Yeah,
but it like I personally didn't have any bugs. I understand other people did, but never locked up.
Yeah,
never had any game breaking bugs. Well, never had any bugs really.
Yeah,
it just ran like crap. Which to me is a lot better than the game locking up every time a pivotal moment is supposed to happen.
It depends on like how sensitive you are to these sorts of things. Because but like I say, just all these things happening at once. I think the kettle boiled over? Is that the term? And people just a bit like fed up. It has had a patch and is apparently now running a lot better. But some of those
freaking errors, man.
Those freaking errors. Some of those refunds won't come back. Like full stop.
Yeah, and I do think at this point now it's going to be some of those people won't come back, or they'll be like, "It's had a patch, but is that going to be enough?"
Yeah, people are on alert. Yeah,
it'll probably be now for those people. Like, it'll be on sale at some point. And
that's the thing where it's like, I have this game pre-ordered from, maybe a few weeks ago or a few months ago. It comes out, it doesn't work. You're like, it's annoying. You refund it. 2 days later, actually, we've done a patch and it runs a lot better. And you go, I'm kind of over it. Like,
yeah,
I'm not dying for it anymore. Like, I was excited to play it, and now it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that literally happened to me with Cult of the Lamb. I was so hyped to play it. I booted up, it didn't work, and then I was like, all right. I just never went back.
It's not the same thing with Sam, but it's something similar, which was you were going to play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, and you booked time off work to play it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it got delayed, so your time off didn't match the game coming out. And then it came out, and you just, I'll play it another day. And you haven't played it.
I will also say, though, with Callisto Protocol, like looking past the issues, apparently the reviews have also been saying, like, it's an okay game. It's nothing special, right?
I think so. It's kind of what I was saying for a very long time, which was I was always concerned that it comes out and it's not bad, but it's just kind of like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think if you're really into horror and you really like, I guess, like Dead Space specifically, I think you could probably get past that. And it might be like, I haven't got this in the post yet. It's on its way, but I'm fully expecting to really like this game. Obviously, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But even with all the reviews and what I've read, I'm expecting to enjoy this game. Because it's what I'm after. I want more Dead Space-ish kind of stuff.
Do you not feel like you could just wait for Dead Space Remake at this point?
Well, I think if you told me it was Dead Space 4, then yeah. But I think because it's a remake, I'm not crazy. Yeah. But I'll play both. That's a simple result, really.
Yeah.
I'll just play both. But yeah, it's a shame for the developers that has happened.
Oh, yeah. So, I was going to say, I can't imagine launching a game, like, all that time and all that effort, you launch the game, and if that's what he's saying is like true, it's like one bug just is all anyone's everything. Talking about. Yeah, kills all the momentum.
There's also the final like tie-in, which if you remember, we spoke about this game quite a few weeks ago. This Glenn Schofield is the guy that went on Twitter and basically announced to the world how they were all horrifically crunching for this game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Well, not. It was kind of sad. But...
it's funny to get caught out that way because it's like because he came out and he was like, "This is a passion project, man, where we're all working like all weekend and we're staying overnight to see it done." And everyone's like, "What the fuck? Let your employees go home."
He was like, "Yeah, and all of our employees are happy to do it because we don't have anyone here who wouldn't do that, right, guys?"
Yeah, because if you don't do it, you'll get like socially ostracized by everyone else in the office. So you're stuck, basically.
Yeah, you know they would have been like, well, your goals don't really align with the rest of us. We're all happy to be here, and you're not.
But it's such a sad story that just I think from start to finish, the ending of this game's development is just I find it really sad. Just story of everyone crunching. Guy apologizing for crunch. Oh, we'll change it in the future. Oh, and then game comes out, stutterfest. The only talk around it is the fact that it's a 7 out of 10 game that doesn't run properly.
Yeah.
And then, if these stories are now coming out, it was all because of a simple error. It's sad.
I know he would never do it because it would be suicide, but I would love if he went on Twitter and been like, well, if you let us crunch a little bit, maybe this bug would have been here.
I took my foot off the pedal and let them go home on Sunday. and now it sucks. So I hope you're all
And
happy.
Dead Space 4 gets pushed back another 10 years.
Oh my god, yeah, I said that. I said that on Discord. It's just like, this comes out, nothing but problems. Dead Space remake comes out, doesn't sell 10 million copies on day one. So EA just go, you know what? We told you so. No one wants Dead Space.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone is actually like, please, just anything. Just remake the light gun game, for God's sake, just anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wonder if you could... Yeah, go on.
Go for it, go on.
No, I was going to make a dumb joke. Do you remember they made an iPhone game? I was just going to go see if it's still available.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That was unique as well, right? It was like a single player standalone thing.
Yeah. There was comics and novels and TV shows all planned.
They went
Dead Space.
They weren't planned. They came out. Like
I suppose, yeah.
because I remember watching a Dead Space anime. Like, was that, do you call it anime? Not an anime. It was like a Western adult cartoon.
Cartoon.
Yeah. So I've watched too much anime. Sorry.
Yeah.
What are they called? Those Western animes? Yeah. So I remember watching that. There's a Nintendo Wii light gun game. There was the iPhone 4 game or iPhone 3G or whatever game.
Yeah.
It went crazy. It's just really weird to go crazy.
That's when like games, everyone wanted their. It was like, I guess it was pre-MCU, wasn't it, at that point? But like everybody wanted their multimedia big franchise, right? Because I remember BioWare doing exactly the same thing with Mass Effect, where there was like iOS games, there was novels, and
there's a period of
radio
time,
dramas. I don't know.
There's a period of time where EA specifically did that, and it's around that time with Dead Space because they also did it with like Mirror's Edge, if you remember. Also had like a bunch of like comics and TV shows.
Oh yeah. And
there's a specific period of like 1 to 2 years where EA had like 3 or 4 new IPs. Just like fuck sequels, we're over it. Here's a whole bunch of new shit.
Yeah.
And I think, they haven't really done that since, maybe. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But yeah, that was always interesting. We'll move on from Callisto Protocol. You got this news is as of today. This is kind of fresh. You had a big Fortnite thing drop. I didn't know this was happening.
Neither did I.
This is the reason I bring this up. It's a brand new chapter, so it's a whole new map, and they've done a whole new reset with new mechanics and this, that, and the other. And there's some really cool stuff to talk about here, not just about like gameplay, but like some behind the scenes stuff that's really cool. But yeah, I think this is actually out now, so this has happened.
Cool.
It was Chapter 3, Season 4 was what it was before, and now it's full on new chapter. And every time they do something big, it's a new chapter. New battle pass, whole new map. There's new mechanics, so there's like dirt bikes and stuff that look really cool. There is a trailer that I do recommend people watch if you're interested. It's really, really cool. There's like vaulting and hurdling. There's a whole bunch of new weapons. There's some other stuff. New battle pass that has Geralt in it and Doomguy. Some pretty cool picks. Got Mr. Beast in it as well. Really odd.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Who else was in it? Oh, Midoriya from My Hero Academia is the new, like, 'cause they have like anime characters, right? He's the new anime pick.
Yeah.
That's come out today. Cool thing about this is the first game that is demonstrating Unreal Engine 5.1, which this is kind of like tech stuff, right?
Wait, Fortnite's had an engine update?
Yes. So now
okay.
The game had an engine update before, but now the game just looks fucking gorgeous. It's so crazy. Like, if I bring up some of these screenshots. So the game is just like the newest iteration of the Unreal Engine. And do you remember they did, you might not have watched it, but they did like an Unreal Engine 5 run through a while back, where it was like a woman going through a cave. And
I remember that.
There were a whole bunch of statues.
Everyone thought it was a game.
Yes, but they didn't. It was never a game.
It was never a game. Yeah.
They talk about things like, I think they called it like nanite. What was it called? Yeah, nanite technology and Lumen. It's basically new ways they do polygons and like ray tracing, right? But this is the first game that actually has it in it, and it's fucking Fortnite of all things.
Mm.
And it just,
Cool.
it just looks really. I can't run this, obviously. My PC will fucking explode.
Same.
But I really like how Fortnite is where they demonstrate these things, like in gameplay, because they've done it before, where they had.
They used to do it with Unreal Tournament, didn't they? Except no one played it.
Yeah, that used to have all the big like engine updates. But now Fortnite is their game that makes infinite money, but also where they demonstrate like new technology. I just thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it like the screenshots look gorgeous. I'm like, am I gonna down? I recently uninstalled Fortnite, and I'm like, every single time I uninstall a game, it's like, oh, now people want to play, or now I kind of want to play, and I'm like, do I?
This story grabbed me more just for the technology, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. I think it's awesome.
Mm.
There was something in here about how like each stone, flower, and blade of grass is now modelled, which is
that's too much.
That's insane. Like
that is insane.
It's insane. Because normally
it's not just going to rotate to face me when I run past it anymore.
If anyone knows anything about game dev, it's like blades of grass and this, that, and the other. It's all an illusion, right? It's all a 2D texture that sways and faces you and stuff like that. But it's crazy. It's crazy.
I might download this just to run around and have a look at it all, see if it even runs.
The person that should is the person that won't. It's Sam who can actually who can actually run all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that was that one. And Sam can buy the Mr. Beast skin and let us know how that is as well, if you wouldn't mind.
Because he needs money. Wouldn't a Mr. Beast move be to give people money every time someone buys it?
Well, the best move. The beast move.
The beast move.
It would be.
Is that what he says, Josh, in his YouTube videos? It would pull a beast move.
Here's what you would do, right? Or here's what he probably should do: is you look at it in the shop, and it has the price, right? Which is what, I don't know, like what a Mr. Beast skin cost, like a tenner or something. And
probably.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, say it's a tenner. You click it, and then the price turns to 0, and it's not free, but he's already bought it for you.
Oh, like him, he's in his house somewhere on his PC.
Yeah. He's given Epic Games like $1 million and said like, yeah, just give people the skin. There you go.
Yeah.
But they still get money. That's what Mr. Beast would do. God bless you, Mr. Beast.
I've not watched a single Mr. Beast video.
No, I've never watched a Mr. Beast video.
Mr. Beast videos, they are completely targeting like, what's the word, like lowest common, like it's so broad in its capture. Children. But they're actually kind of entertaining. And I'll admit that. I watched Mr. Beast videos. They're entertaining. But like you say, they're just like, it feels factory generated, right? Like everything is designed. Like even everything
they've boiled the internet content algorithm down to like a pure like liquid form, and then they're just shooting it all over the place.
The thumbnail is perfect to like get your attention. You watch it. They're always saying shit like, "Oh, wait till the end, watch this," and it's like, but it's never like too intrusive. It's like I say, it's like it's dialed in like perfectly, almost
it's
like scary.
Generated content.
Basically, wouldn't be surprised. Each time he comes out, he's
a robot.
He was a robot the whole time. All right. Yeah, that was that one. Next one, you've got this one. Does anyone here know about Beyond Good and Evil 2 and the story behind this?
Nope.
That I remember several years ago, they did like I've never played the original Beyond Good and Evil, but I know it was like a cult classic. And then several years ago, they did like a trailer for like a story like Beyond Good and Evil 2, and the trailer looked really good. It was like a cutscene trailer though; it wasn't showing any gameplay or anything.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, I'd actually play that." And then several years later, I was like, "What actually happened to that game?" And apparently,
the answer is nothing. The answer is nothing happened for a very long time. So yeah, Beyond Good and Evil is a really good game. It's really old now. I think I played it on like GameCube or something.
PS2 game. Yeah, PS2 era. Yeah.
Let's see if I can just find some screenshots. That's a book also, apparently. Beyond Good and Evil game. Yeah, so you play as a character called, I think her name was Jade.
Jade?
And
Yeah.
you uncover like conspiracy and stuff, but a big part of it was like platforming, combat, and photography.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, and if you this screenshot is just like it's just perfect. It's like PS2 GameCube era, like encapsulated in a screenshot, right? Like everything looked like this. And it was like I don't know if it was like a cult classic, but it's very popular. It was very popular.
Oh, it's a cult. Yeah, it was a cult hit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So Beyond Good and Evil 2 has always been on the like, Ubisoft's lips for ages, and there was maybe like an E3 conference or something like 4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
Where they were like, yeah, it's not dead. We are still like doing it. It's officially announced.
Yeah,
like,
they showed gameplay trailers and showed gameplay like sessions to the press.
Yeah. And there's also the thing, I think before they officially announced it, there were leaked CG trailers that never got officially announced, but it was always in the background. Like Ubisoft is making Beyond Good and Evil 2. But it's just like nothing is happening.
It's like, come on, where is it?
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah.
And the new update is that it's apparently still in early development. It's literally going nowhere.
Yeah.
This article talks a little about what we were just saying. Yeah, there you go. E3 2018, which was what, like 4 years ago, was when they showed the pre-alpha walkthrough.
Yeah.
Why I don't understand why these games are announcing that they're making a game so early, where it's like it's a bit like with is it Metroid Prime 4? That they announced it and then they were like, oh nope, it was too early and it wasn't in a good direction, so we had to change everything. It's like just wait till it's like in a place that you're happy with it and then announce it.
Metroid Prime 4, they straight up came out and it was a guy looking at a camera saying, we started making Metroid Prime 4. We don't like what we made. We're completely starting again. We're so sorry.
Don't announce it before that. Then
I get like things can change. I think the thing that I think of with Beyond Good and Evil 2 is I feel like there's maybe a couple of people at the head of the project that want to do something that either isn't feasible right now or they're just having a really tough time working out. I don't mean like, they can't. They're bad programs. I mean, like, no, they want to do something like stupidly ambitious. I don't know what it is, but that's why this game is just going nowhere because they don't know what the game is. If it's still in early development, as far as I'm concerned, they still don't know what it is. Well, they haven't made like what it is what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It's. I feel like it's one of those titles where it's just people keep getting moved around and no one is really passionate and wants it made. It's like, they've had this project for the longest time and they don't know what to do with it, and they're like, well, get someone on it, and then that person leaves, join a different company, and then they got to find new leadership. And
because being realistic, right? This game is one part of this article is that this is now the longest developed game ever. It's beaten Duke Nukem Forever. It's now.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Yes, yeah. What? Yeah, it's a lot older than Star Citizen, isn't it? It has to be.
Duke Nukem Forever was in development for 5,156 days before it came out. This game is now 5.
How do you know that?
It's in the article. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
That's not like in my brain.
I thought you just had that stat to hand. Jesus.
Whereas this game has been in development for 5,297. So a good, what is that? It's like half a year longer.
Yeah.
It's because it feels like to me like if you really wanted this game out, you could change like a whole bunch of top of the chain devs on it, right? Get a new director, get some people, and say like, look at the first game, just make a fucking sequel. Like just crank out a sequel, make a different story, just keep the gameplay similar, whatever, but just make a new game. Whereas this is just like, why is it in early development 4 years after the alpha demo?
I will say, like, I do think they announced it too early, but I'm glad they're not just like pumping a game out. Like, if they want to do it correctly, and they're taking their time. I'm like, we've seen so many games. We would just talk about Callisto Protocol and other games where it's like they were rushed out too early. Like, if they need if they want to take the time of it,
15 years?
take the time. I mean, hasn't there been other games that like came out like
Listen,
after a while?
right. Persona 4 was in development for a long time. Came out, was an absolute banger. Wasn't in development for 15 fucking years.
There's a long game dev cycle to me in my head is probably around 7-8 years. Average game length title, from what I read from articles and what I know about, is normally about sort of 4 or 5. And then obviously the last like half a year is where you start ramping up marketing and that, right? This, like I said, this whole thing smells like either they don't know, they just straight up don't know what they're doing with it. They don't know what they want to do with it, or they physically cannot do what they want to do. So they're stuck in this perpetual like R&D phase of like, can we do this?
Maybe, yeah.
Surely that's just hemorrhaging money at this point. Like, someone at some point has got to look at it and go, how much have we spent on this?
It feels like they're
But
like. Sorry, you go.
Well, I mean, but that's what I was saying. Like, I bet this isn't like a full studio has been working on this whole time. It's like they've got a skeleton crew.
Yes, yeah.
And they keep being like, hey, are we ever going to assign, workhorse programming people to Beyond Good and Evil 2? And it's like, shit ain't coming out. Put it on, I don't know, whatever else they're working on.
It's
Skull and Bones or whatever.
It's like the awkward project where they're too ashamed to cancel it, right? And
they don't want to admit that it's cancelled, but it basically is cancelled. Yeah.
But no one's going to forget about it. There'll be people in 10 years' time, if this game's still not out, being like, where's Beyond Good and Evil 2? It's in development. Even though it's not.
Yeah.
But at that point. But it's really weird. And like you say, it's like, it'll be a skeleton crew, probably like doing more like vertical slices and R&D, trying to work out what they want to do before Ubisoft chuck like 500 bodies at it and are like, go.
Yeah. I think the weird thing is there's not even really much clamor for a Beyond Good and Evil sequel anymore. I feel like
there was, anymore. Yeah.
There was, and then we all made our peace with like, okay, it's not coming out, but they keep doing stuff like this where they'll like put out some concept art, or there'll be an interview with one of the devs or something, and it's like, we're still, and it's like, it's fine. Like,
some dev comes out. Comes out and says, "Of course, we're still making it." It's like, no, it's not. Of course, like, where is like, it could be dead. An article that says we're still working on it is less likely than an article that says the thing's dead. It's cancelled.
Yeah.
Pack it up. Go home. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is dead. That's the next article that I always expect to see about this game. Is that Ubisoft has just been like, yeah, it's done. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We couldn't put something together that we wanted for this game.
No. The next article will be pre-orders now live. Give us money, and then they'll cancel it.
Yeah, because why not throw all their reputation straight in the bin?
Let's just commit a crime
over Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Do you expect them not to at this point? Like a big company do good things?
I don't expect them to make.
Steve, you're talking about committing fraud. Like,
again, do you think that they wouldn't commit fraud?
Ubisoft,
yes.
Yes.
This isn't some indie Kickstarter that's going to steal a bunch of money. It's not like Ubisoft can just disappear when it gets too hard.
I don't know. I think
Ubisoft might commit fraud one day, but they're not going to do it so blatantly.
I
don't know. I think what's his name? Eve. I think Eve can easily.
Go on, Josh.
No, I can't.
Eve committing fraud. Let's hear it.
I have taken all of your money.
That loaded up.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 was never real. Thank you to the 7 people that pre-ordered. Your money is now mine.
He goes back into the studio like the lizard person he is. Never to be seen again.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is so cursed. Oh yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2 never coming out. Next game, Amnesia the Bunker. So
what's
Amnesia Debunker?
Amnesia, that's my like French name. Amnesia debunk here. No, it's surely someone here played the old Amnesia games, right?
I played bits.
No.
Those games were great. It was like, I feel like Amnesia kind of started the YouTube Let's Play scream at your camera, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Which is now like, you know, people have careers based off that. Yeah, so Amnesia was a first-person puzzle. Was it puzzle? Puzzle stealth horror game.
Yeah, pretty much. That'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, you went through creepy houses and shit with a sanity meter, and shit would go crazy. And there was a big monster with a big mouth that would chase you and stuff like that. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a dead series for a very long time. There's been like, I don't think there's been Amnesia stuff. Hang on, let me Google this. Amnesia games. There was like something about a pig. There was like
Machine
There
for
was
Pig.
Amnesia, then there was Amnesia Machine for Pigs. Apparently Amnesia Rebirth came out in 2020.
oh, I completely missed that. Not that I care about it, but
I didn't see that either, yeah.
but
It's
yeah.
never really been my thing, the Amnesia games. I don't know about you guys.
I always
I-
they sit in my heart as these games that I played with a few friends like back in college, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
I might play it eventually because like I do like playing an occasional horror game every
Yeah.
now and then, but yeah, I've not watched and then played for or anything, so I can't comment too much.
Yeah, these
I don't get anything out of like pure horror games.
No,
Doesn't
that's
do
fine,
anything
yeah.
for me.
I'm the same as Sam.
I am
yeah.
a W key warrior, right?
yeah.
I hold the go button and they try and jump scare me and they might get me. I'm still moving forward.
Yeah, so
And
20,
it kind of takes away from the game.
That's the big weakness of those games, isn't it? If you just act without fear, the game
Yeah.
it's not even really. You're just like, it's like playing Dead by Daylight all over again. You're not scared of the monster.
Yeah.
You're just like running past it, just like fuck off.
I've always said like you want to break a horror game and just like if you're too scared to move or whatever, just let the game kill you. Like monsters running at you, just let it kill you, because as soon as you stop running and getting scared, you realize that the monster runs up to your face, does 2 canned animations of like a slap, and then it goes "Bleh," and you die, and you're like, that's not actually that scary, and it ruins the whole game. Yeah, 2010 was when the first Amnesia game came out, so I would have been like 18. Yeah, I think I was at the arse end of college.
The glory days of YouTube back then.
Yeah, and like I said, this was like, I remember videos of like PewDiePie like shouting at Amnesia and stuff
So
like that.
I remember watching Tobuscus.
Oh,
play it.
Tobuscus,
Remember
yeah.
that guy?
Before he vanished for like a decade, and then came back for a Ubisoft conference.
I couldn't.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
Internet's weird.
But yeah, this one is so. See if I can play this trailer. It's semi-open world, which is kind of cool, and there's not much to go off. But it's like there's a trailer that like sets the tone and stuff like that. It just seems interesting. I think I just wanted to talk about Amnesia because it was just like, as soon as I heard the name Amnesia, I was like, oh shit, it's the game I played like 12 years ago or something.
Yeah. That could be cool.
So yeah, because there was another game called Penumbra.
Because I played fucking hell. I played
Penumbra.
Penumbra. That's really hard to say.
Wouldn't the P be silence?
But that was a weird. I remember that was a weird game where you could do combat, but you had to like click. So you had a hammer out, and then you had to click and hold with the mouse, and then swing your mouse.
Weird, yeah.
It was cool though. I enjoyed it.
Back when we didn't know how games were probably made in 2007. But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember Penumbra. You were like in like an ice place, I think. Like
there was 3 of them. There was
right. This is what I remember. This stands out. This really janky screenshot here for some reason.
Yeah, that's the one I played.
Yeah, that's the one I played. I think you can get them now for like 50p or something. 7 quid? Fucking hell.
That's a collection.
Gaming
pack,
history
though,
there.
That is, yeah.
a couple, right?
Yeah, your modern day equivalent of these sorts of games is probably something like Soma.
Oh, I hated Sammeh.
Yeah, you'll probably hate this one.
What's the Outlast trials? What is that? And is that out?
What is that?
Because
The
I
Outlast
saw some
Trials-
multiplayer footage of that,
Yeah,
which,
the
and I was
Outlast
like,
Trials is multiplayer.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer game. Are there any penises? This game's very penisy. I'm going to keep it on this screenshot.
I mean,
here.
I don't think in the screenshots, but
No, because Outlast is a game you look up and you like look at screenshots, and it's just a weird guy just hanging dong for some
yeah,
reason.
yeah, he's
Okay,
not wrong. He's not
which
wrong.
Which Outlast game is
We're
it?
on trials.
No,
right now.
keep it in your pants, Steve. That is because Outlast was the Outlasts were all single player, weren't they? But then I assumed this would follow suit. But then I saw like beta footage of people running around in a party baiting monsters like it was Dead by Daylight. It was weird.
Yeah, this is the Outlast Trials is the multiplayer game. There was a beta for it. I think I got in, but I never played it.
Yeah, I got the same. I got invited and just missed it. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, so
Survive solo
Might be
or
fun.
co-op. You're all prisoners of Murkoff trapped in a facility. That's a weird. I've said that sentence weird. It kind of looks like a weird. It's not Dead by Daylight, obviously, but it's 4-player horror survival.
do you know what because we're all into Dead by Daylight now, I just remembered that they have the Ghostbusters Dead by Daylight clone, and that it's a shame that no one could play it because it's Epic
Oh,
Games
yeah.
still exclusive.
That game
30
also
quid.
didn't that game come out and just instantly die?
I think so, yeah. And I'm like, that was since we're all into Dead by Daylight, that would have been actually kind of fun to try,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, here's a Ghostbusters game on Epic Games Store exclusive, and it's like 30-40 quid. It's like, oh geez, dead on
I
arrival.
will say I am enjoying multiplayer horror games now, like kind of like darker, scarier games that are meant to be played with friends, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think that like there's only so far single player horror games can go. Like where
I
like when you
just
play
don't think
like
multiplayer horror games work because it's
I agree.
there's that level of removal where you're
True.
in Discord goofing off and
Yeah.
they're not scary.
I guess yeah, but I'm like I feel like if you're with the right people in the like right environment, maybe you can get like the full experience out of it. But
The only
I
time Dead
am
by
in-
Daylight has been scary is when you first start playing and you play as Survivor, and you're playing. It's 4-player, but you're on your own, not in chat with anyone. That's when Dead by Daylight is actually scary. But it's like Will saying, like as soon as you actually start hanging out with friends and stuff, it could be a good game. It's just not scary.
yeah.
Why does Ghostbusters get so many video games? There's basically been at least one every 2 years since about 2004, according to Metacritic.
At some point, I think there was a good movie. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Wow.
But-
Yeah,
no,
like the Ghostbusters movies are
Wow.
great, but I don't. Is the Ghostbusters license like?
Is it valuable?
Is it like the Warhammer license? And
Anyone
is,
could do
secondly,
that, yeah.
is it valuable? Are people like, boy, I wish I could experience more Ghostbusters?
Well, I'm looking at Ghostbusters games now. Spirits
Oh, that's a
Unleashed
lot of games.
coming in 2022. What is this? Unreal Engine
Ghostbusters,
4?
the video game.
Is this the remake of
Planet
the old one?
Planet Coaster Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters VR now hiring.
There's a few mobile games.
Just Ghostbusters 2016. Ghostbusters the video game again in 2009. What the fuck?
A lot of these are mobile games. They're basically
The concept of Ghostbusters is, I feel like the base concept is like good for a video game. I'm not sure if any of them have been particularly successful though.
Ghostbusters Pachinko. I've gone too deep.
God.
This is
Yeah,
horrible.
too deep.
I
I'm out.
Too deep.
Oh my
We've gone
God.
too far. Oh, back it up. We crossed the streams.
That's cursed. That's so cursed.
That's so cursed. It
Is
kind
there
of
a
like
Ghostbusters anime? There must be, right?
this is anime to you.
No, I said, is there a Ghostbusters anime?
Oh, probably.
There was a cartoon when I was a kid. I remember that.
yeah, that was cool though. I remember watching that.
It kind of looks like Spelunky in a weird way. You see it? Just me.
Mm,
You can have
I'm
that.
trying to not see it right now. I'm averting my gaze.
Anyway, yeah. Don't know how we got here. Oh yeah, horror games. Yeah. So that's I've got no segue for this. Next story. Monster Hunter Rise is coming to like Game Pass and to other consoles. Which I think is when did Rise first come out? Oh, it's right here. 2021. That's how you know it's the end of the podcast when shit starts falling apart.
Monster Hunter Rise is a great game. I'm excited for other people who maybe haven't had the opportunity to play it, especially on Game Pass. But the question is, can the Game Pass version play with the Steam version?
I think it says Xbox Game Pass. Is that, I need to read this. Is it, PC. So it is on PC.
Yeah, I'm on the app. It's got a page.
Yeah. I'm going to say it will cross-platform because they're actually like a decent, bigger company. That's throwing a bit of shade at what's the company that makes Darktide?
Fat Shark.
I feel like they are the exception and not the rule. I feel like a lot of games just do crossplay these days, especially from the same platform, for God's sake.
Another big game that people always say, like, oh, it's really good, you should play it, but it's different for Steam and Game Pass, is Deep Rock Galactic. That's the other one which I hear doesn't have.
But that's
crossplay.
Kind of indie, right?
I don't know.
It's like AA. It's not indie, but it's not like massive, I think. But yeah, not a massive news story, but this is just cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, like...
Would you recommend this one for someone's first Monster Hunter, or would you still say World?
I think I would... It's tricky, because I feel like going from World to Rise, is easier than going back. Because Rise is just an action game.
Rise is my first Monster Hunter where I played it like properly and got really into it, beat like the main base game, beat the base of the expansion. They're compared to like older ones, like they cut a lot of the like not chaff, but like a lot of the more in-depth mechanics out. Like you don't need to track the monsters with like a paintball or something. It just shows you on the map. It's very easy to get into. So I would probably say, like, if you're on the fence, this is a good one to get into. If you're like, oh, I know I'm going to enjoy it, then probably World would be the best one to get into.
I still think now that Rise has been out on other consoles and PC for ages and ages, and everyone's kind of finished it, I do think World is the vastly better game. I prefer.
I don't know about better. I think it's different.
They are different, but I think you have preferences.
World,
it's my preference. I prefer World, and it'll be interesting to see what they do next, because they could easily lean more into the Rise, like faster paced action, or they could rein it in again and be like, we'll slow it down.
I thought they confirmed World 2. I thought that was the thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it depends on if they're doing it on a Sony console or a Nintendo console. Like, there'll be a big difference.
You can still have a slower Monster Hunter game on the Switch or Switch 2 or whatever.
Yeah, but like, I feel like
you can't make a World on Switch. I know, it's like you can't make a Monster Hunter World on Switch.
Yeah, it's a bit like Rise is now coming to PlayStation, right?
Yes,
but World isn't coming to Switch, so that tells you something about like the performance and whatnot.
Oh yeah, but that's because World already exists. You could make a game like World for Switch from the ground up.
You would think that they would be like a HD, well, not HD, but maybe like World remastered on Switch, and that would sell because there are people who have not played World.
Oh, it's like Will is like making noises. The Switch runs Rise, and I would argue that you just
Rise is massively cut down version of World.
In what regard? I just think
I guess it is.
I think Rise,
like the scope,
but I think a World compared to Rise by design is tighter because you move around a lot more in Rise because of the wire bug.
Yes, but you move around worlds that look like they're from a PSP game.
That's what I'm saying. Is you would have. I'm not saying it's going to look good. I'm just saying you have.
Right. Yeah, but I don't want World 2 made for Switch and ported to PC.
Yeah,
I'm
full on board. It needs to be made for PC.
Oh yeah, I don't want that either. But that could happen, is what I'm saying.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I would hate that. That'd be horrible.
Yeah,
but it could happen.
Right. Okay. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Monster Rise looks great. It does.
Yeah.
But it could have been a lot fucking better if it wasn't made for the Switch.
Oh yeah, but what?
There's that asterisk though, isn't it? Where you're playing Rise and you're like, this looks great for a game that was
Yeah.
made for Switch and then ported to PC.
Oh no, I genuinely think it just looks great.
But it doesn't
the
look as
point
good
where
as
you're like-
World.
Yeah, comparatively,
No,
compared to other stuff on
but-
Switch, Rise looks really good. It's like a locked 30, it doesn't dip, and it looks kind of nice for a Switch game, which is about as good as you
yeah.
can ask.
It just has the misfortune of coming out after World.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Which looks 10
Graphically,
times better.
graphically, it's a massive step down.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the scenario could happen where the next Monster Hunter game is exclusive to Switch again, and they decide that they want to design a game more like World than Rise. And then you end up, and then you end up with a janky looking World 2.
I
That
don't
is a
know.
scary
Yeah.
thought because I think Monster Hunter World is the better game, right?
Mhm.
But Monster Hunter Rise was so good for the Switch because
Yeah.
you played it and it was what was the way that we described it when we played it? It's like quick 10-15 minute
Yes,
hunts
yeah.
is what you were going out. You weren't doing levels, you weren't really doing missions so much as you were just going out, killing a monster, getting back home.
Yeah,
Going out,
yeah.
killing a monster.
You'd be in and out
It was,
in about 10 minutes.
it was Monster Fighter. wasn't
Yes.
Monster
Yes,
Hunter.
yes, that's
I
whereas
enjoy.
Monster Hunter World was you go out, you have a blast, mate. You don't need to fight stuff. You start tracking, you do
Yes,
your
yeah.
gathering, you
Yeah.
explore, and they can't do that on the Switch. They could never do that on the Switch.
Well, yeah, I think especially after Rise has been so successful that like people now, if there's another Switch Monster Hunter, they're expecting the quick Monster Hunt, like the you go in, you fight the monster. I don't think it would work successfully unless they were to port like World over to Switch to be like, this is that type of Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, that
but-
makes me, and I agree with you, and I think that is more likely, but it makes me sad that the idea
Yeah,
of like
but-
the world and previous design philosophy of Monster Hunter is dead. It's gone.
Well, no, but I don't think that's dead necessarily because I feel like that's for Switch. I feel like PlayStation players are probably like, we like World, we'll have another World on PlayStation.
They've proved they don't need to do that. They can just make one game and port it everywhere, and that people buy it.
But I mean, World was successful. People like, I've heard a lot of people say they prefer World over Rise. Like,
Yeah,
maybe they'll keep like the more hardcore version on PlayStation and PC and stuff.
Oh, so you're
I
okay.
don't-
So you're not implying that they make two games at the same time. You're saying
No, I'm saying they'll make
Right,
like,
okay. Yeah, I get
one then the other, but like keep the
Yeah, they'll
platform
do-
separately for
yeah.
at least launch.
They'll do a Call of Duty. They'll get, the A team and the B team. One will make
Yeah.
the Rise and one will make the World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were saying like we're making World 2 for PS5 and we're making Rise 2 for Switch, and they're coming out at the same time.
I don't think they'd come out ever at the same time because
No.
that would cannibalize. It would
Yeah.
it would always be like World 2 and then a year later Rise 2
God,
and then
I
a
would
year
love
later World
2.
3.
I'd love
or
World 2.
whatnot.
I swear, maybe this is wishful thinking. Monster Hunter World 2. I swear they've said like World 2 is on the way next.
I had a look, but all I could find was this image, so I don't know.
Maybe I'm just fucking talking out my ass. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's just-
Josh is trolling, by the way, and it's got the Ghostbusters image up for those audio listeners.
I mean, it's the best image he's ever found. Maybe.
It's a cursed mobile game.
Josh
version
chuckled
of,
menacingly.
of
Just give myself captions.
Ghostbusters characters.
All right, we're done here. What's coming out, Steve?
Okay. Okay. So on the 6th, which is the Tuesday this podcast comes out, if you're not listening live, the first game is called DKO, which is short for Divine Knockout.
DKO game, Divine Knockout. There we go.
Yeah. So this game looks like an arena fighter, but it's 3D. I was like, just because you like fighting games so much, Josh, I thought this might be interesting. It's kind of like Smash, but like on a 3D plane.
I like non-mobile game fighting games.
Yeah. I mean, graphically, this leaves something to be desired, but I was like, oh, it looks maybe okay.
Yeah. I'll probably
Looks a bit
pass.
like Smite.
No,
It's
it's
like
high res.
Smite.
It's the Smite guys.
Oh, so
yeah.
yeah, it's basically Smite then.
Oh, it's published by them.
Don't
I'm
high
gonna-
res
Like, that
typically
was
have
literally Ymir.
outside of Smite? Don't high res have a really bad track record with just making
Paladins
games?
are okay.
Wait, yeah, it is just Smite
It is,
because it's
yeah, it's a
Divine
Smite
Knockout,
game.
isn't it? Yeah, it's a Smite game. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Smite game then. Hey,
We're
I knew
fucking
that.
idiots.
Okay, my defense, I've never played Smite. I've never touched
never played
Smite.
Smite?
I've never
Good
played
fun.
Smite.
It is
It's
good
pretty
fun.
fun. It is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smite
but
Knockout.
this is Smite fighting game then.
Oh, they even like, yeah, it's very Smash Bros. You see them like fighting off the ledge and stuff.
Yeah.
Very Smash Bros.
Why didn't they
If
call
it's
it
free to
Smite
play, I
something?
mean, high-res games are usually free to play. Maybe we could give this a little try.
Yeah, not calling this Smite subtitle is the biggest misstep I've seen.
Smite Bros.
Smite Bros. Smite.
Come on,
Smite.
it was right there.
Smite Divine Knockout.
Multi-smices.
Multi-smices. Yep.
Could have just been like Smite Knockout or something
Smite
like that.
Knockout. Just yeah. But no.
Okay. Also on the 6th, we have Hello Neighbor 2.
The fuck?
I feel like this has been released about 90 times.
Is this not been
Over
early
and
access
over.
forever?
I'm not sure. But it's
You know,
releasing
Hello
on the
Neighbor
6th.
is like really popular with children.
Yeah.
It's so
Really?
weird. It's like
Isn't that fucked?
it's really fun. I went round to my family's earlier today, and I have 3 nieces. They're all really young. The eldest is 6, and they watch like YouTube and stuff, and it's all like they watch like Let's Plays of like Hello Neighbor and like Poppy's Playtime and like Five Nights with Freddy's. It's like, what the fuck?
Isn't also like Bendy and the Ink Machine really popular?
I don't
as well?
know. It's all bizarre. It's like stuff that would scare the shit out of me. They all like all these kids love. It's so bizarre.
That's who's playing Dead by Daylight. Is all the kids
these
that
kids.
were murdering, just murdering 10-year-olds.
Is this early access? I'm really confused. I feel like like Will said, I feel like I've seen this before.
Well, there was a multiplayer one we played at one point, wasn't there, as well?
Is that like Hello Neighbor subtitle? I think.
Maybe.
God, what even is this game? Is it like stealth break-in still?
Yeah, Hello Neighbor 2, Hello Neighbor 2 Beta,
Yeah,
Hello
stealth
Neighbor
horror
2
game
Alpha
about being
1.
a creepy neighborhood.
Alpha
secret.
1 on standby.
Alpha 1. This is Neighbor.
I'm being chased by a neighbor.
Force, move out.
Oh, I want to play more Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. You were Dead by
Okay.
Daylight streamer now. Just
Wait, not
accept
Dead
it.
by Daylight. I want to play more DMC. What the fuck?
DMC.
Okay,
We're blessed at the moment. At the moment, I feel like we're blessed with games to play.
We are, and that's
So
why,
much to play,
that's why
yeah.
there's nothing new to play right now, because there's just so much solid stuff that's come out that we're all still good.
You say that we've got some good stuff coming out this week.
Oh, sorry.
including-
Go on, Steve.
Yeah.
Including the big release for the 6th is Dwarf Fortress.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Is this really expensive?
Don't know.
That's oh my god, this is not what I was looking for, but I'm glad I'm here.
Dwarf Fortress on Steam.
Yeah, I know, but I'm glad I'm here.
But yeah, this is
You can't
yeah.
even pre-purchase on Steam.
A lot of people are looking forward to
No.
this. I'm weirdly, because I've heard the backstory about this, I'm like, even if it's like a little bit expensive, I'm like, you go for it, because apparently the developer is a single guy, a single dude, and he did have like a bunch of other updates planned, but he's done the Steam version because like his brother fell ill and he needs the money.
Yeah, I
so
think
he's
his brother had like
diverted.
cancer or something.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, if it's for his brother, I'm like, even though I'm like passing interest, I'm like, I'll buy your game.
That's really like noble. I don't think you'll like this game, Steve.
We'll see. If it's cheap enough, I'll buy it. But
I reckon it'll be like. Okay, place your predictions now. I reckon it'll be 30 quid.
30? I was going to say like 15.
I reckon a
I'll go
solid.
Yeah,
20.
I'm expecting
That
15
seems
to
the
20.
sweet spot
I
for
reckon
those kind of like
20.
RimWorld.
I reckon a solid like. You know what? 31.99. I just.
Okay.
Wait, do you know? You got inside knowledge?
Yeah, I got some
You
dwarfs on the
know
inside.
something? Some
So yeah,
dwarves.
This is this game you will see many a story about, many a Reddit post of like just the craziest shit happening. People love this game, but the thing that I think held a lot of people back before was the ASCII art style. But now that it's got graphics, I feel like this game is a lot of people are going to sink a lot of
I've
hours
tried
into
to
it.
play this many years ago and could not get past the ASCII graphics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was
So-
too hardcore for me.
this will be very popular, I think.
Yeah. What else we got?
Okay,
Steve?
on the 7th, we have the latest Mario Kart 8 DLC, the new
Ooh,
wave of
Wave
tracks.
3.
Yes.
Also missed.
I didn't even play Wave 2. Fuck.
I played Wave 2. Wave 2 actually added some anti-grav and a unique new track. So they've also adding some anti-grav into these tracks as well. Because the first wave had no anti-grav.
Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour. Peach Gardens from DS. Where's the rest of them? Where's this page? Where am I?
Yeah, I was going to say all 8 have been announced.
Typed in Mario Kart Wave 3 and just got some weird website. These websites suck. There we go. Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 7, Maple Treeway from Mario Kart Wii, Boo Lake, Berlin Byways. Why am I reading these out like I know them? Alpine Pass, London Loop, Peach Gardens, Merry Mountain. 1, 2, 3 tracks from the mobile game.
Well, yeah, I was going to say they've picked all the good tracks from the old ones, and now it's maybe go. But I will say this is funny. It's going to be the 4th Rainbow Road in Mario Kart now.
I mean, by the time these waves are done, it's going to be in 150 tracks in the game. How do you not have every track in the game?
This is the Smash Bros of Mario Kart.
It literally is, yeah.
Okay, so on the 8th, this is a game which I think Josh will have some stuff to say about. We have Chained Echoes.
Ooh, yeah.
I know you were waxing lyrical about this game.
Yeah, I was. So this is a game I've been following for ages. I played a demo a long time ago. It's a JRPG, very SNES era graphics. Maybe a bit better, SNES era. You know how you think you remember Super Nintendo games?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that. Demo was fantastic. It was a very short demo. I played it
What is happening?
it was a year or two ago. I played the demo. But yeah, it's coming out and it's on Game Pass that I found out randomly, which is really, really good.
This is a JRPG, traditional JRPG, right?
Yes, yeah.
But if Josh likes it, and Josh, you don't usually play too many JRPGs,
No,
right?
I don't normally have the time for them. Something has to really grab me to have to sink 60 hours into something. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I've been waiting for this for ages. Been watching all the development of this literally week by week on Twitter over years and years.
Damn, nice.
Yeah, it's really cool to see it come out. Yeah, have a look. That's on the 8th.
Next on the 9th, we have Dragon Quest Treasures.
This is a mobile game?
This is coming to PC.
Oh, is it?
Is this the one you got done in for Inside Trading?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
50 quid? This is not what I thought it was, clearly.
Well, I was going to say, Dragon Quest mobile games are...
Oh, I remember this.
There's lots of them, and they are very
bad.
money.
You can say bad.
Yeah.
But the Dragon Quest games that are on console are generally quite good, right? I think Sam has played a few Dragon Quest Builders.
The trick with Dragon Quest is
Dragon Quest Builders is fantastic.
Yeah, the trick with Dragon Quest is to not care unless it's a mainline game or it's a builder's game. Other than that, they're kind of a bit.
Is that
weird.
Eric?
Maybe.
Probably. I'm not entirely sure what this game is, right? Is it?
I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I saw a trailer for it at, I think, a Nintendo Direct a while back. And I was like...
Eric.
It is Eric. Yeah, Eric and his sister Mia.
Eric.
You ever mentioned his sister in the game?
Yep.
Don't remember.
In the second half.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I've played Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
Don't know why I'm trying to be spoiler-free about that game, but...
And then the final game on the 9th, we have Choo Choo Charles.
Oh, that's out.
Oh my god.
That's coming out on the 9th, yes.
That terrible game that everyone's excited for some reason.
For some reason.
Dude, it looks fun.
It looks awful.
Well, no. The train model that chases you looks amazing. Then you see the humans in the game and you're like, they spent their budget on that train.
This whole game is someone's 3D modeling project that's gone too far.
Yeah.
Isn't that great, though? Isn't that fantastic?
He made a 3D model of a scary Thomas Tank Engine, and people liked it. And he was like, "Oh fuck, I gotta ride this train, literally." And now that's
badass though. He just makes a dumb, evil Thomas the Tank Engine model, and then it's this is his whole game.
My concern is the hype gets too much, and it's not a good game. And people eat the guy alive.
Click on that screenshot of that human in the last one. There you go.
Yeah.
Apparently, the human models look like jank compared to the train.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool.
That look better than those Ghostbusters chibis.
Looks better than fucking Skyrim.
Looks better than
True.
It's not a high bar though, is it?
Oh, finally awake on this boat.
That is all the games that's all the games that are coming out that looked notable. Sorry if I've missed any. I always feel bad because
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
On Steam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's
out.
Yeah,
I'll forgive you, Steve, for that.
Yeah.
Sam's just trying to cause a ruckus.
That's big.
It's been on PC on Uplay, right?
Yeah, he's gonna say like Uplay.
Yeah, fucking Uplay.
Yeah, but you know that you buy it on Steam, it will open up Uplay, right?
I imagine so.
Yeah, so it's just the way you purchase it.
Yeah, Uplay, i.e. the Siege launcher.
Yeah.
That's all it is, basically. There's lots of cool stuff coming out, though. I hope I can find time to check out Chained Echoes properly, because I'm excited to play that. It's always daunting starting a new, set, when games are long and it's like,
oh my god, I have that problem. Yeah, especially when it's like an RPG or something, and I get like 5 hours in, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for you to go on for 90 more hours.
Yeah, I don't want to start this. I'm going to wait for when I have more time, and then I never play it.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can find time to play it. But yeah, well, thanks for doing that, Steve, and that's all the news and stuff done for the week. We were concerned we didn't really play much, but we still managed to fill 2 hours. Aren't you all lucky, everyone listening?
Yeah.
And,
go
for it.
Next week we've got the Game Awards are out on the 8th.
Yes.
So we'll have that to talk about. And I think there's some sort of Microsoft That Is conference as well that might announce stuff.
I have no clue what you're talking about, but I'm sure we'll watch whatever it is.
Yeah.
We won't be watching the Game Awards live, because it's 4 hours long, full of ads, and starts at midnight UK time.
I'm so disappointed.
I'll probably watch it, but probably not on stream or anything, because...
We'll be talking about it, though. We'll talk about it. There's going to be plenty of stuff to talk about from it, so... There's going to be 50 million world premieres, which is always exciting. But yeah, we'll do our socials, and we'll get out of here then. Thank you for listening, everybody. My name, as always, is BottlerWorks. I go by that on everything. If you want to find me on anything, Twitter, all that good stuff, you can find me there. How about you, Will?
You can find me. You know where to find me.
And Steve?
Hi, I'm Quikwix. That's QUIKWIX on all good platforms.
And Sam?
I'm Sam.
He's still Sam. 46 weeks in, and he's still Sam. Thank you, everybody. All right, bye.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.